just wanted to share a couple of words of reminder, especially for the young brothers and sisters downstairs. There are two words that were learned, were being taught by the Prophet ﷺ and throughout the Quran to say in difficult moments. We are now one day after Ashura. Ashura was yesterday, and the day of Ashura reminds us about the power of Allah's intervention. Now, we all going to go through difficult times. We're all going to go through difficult and challenging circumstances. So what is the best way to deal with difficulties and challenges in our life? Firstly, to say, حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل. الذين جمع لهم قال لهم الناس وإن الناس قد جمعوا لكم فاخشوهم فقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. In the story of Musa alayhi salam, imagine Musa alayhi salam with his own people, the believers of Bani Israel, were leaving and running away from Fir'aun and the aggression of Fir'aun. And Fir'aun chased them with his own soldiers. So the soldiers of Fir'aun were over the number of Bani Israel, and they were running after them with their weapons, their swords, and their spears, and all the details. And they were riding their horses. Bani Israel with Musa got to a dead end. They reached the sea. Ahead of them is water. They cannot go through the water because it's a huge, it's a sea. And behind them is Fir'aun. So what they said to Musa alayhi salam, Ya Musa inna mudrakun, we're surrendered. Musa taught them to connect with Allah Azza wa Jal and to say what needs to be said in difficult moments like this. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. I seek refuge by Allah Azza wa Jal, and in Him I count. Remember these two words. I remember in my childhood, I heard a lesson from one of the shuyukh in the masjid, and he was talking about how in difficult times, what you need to do is to remember Allah Azza wa Jal and to say, حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل, or اللهم اكفنيهم بما شئت. And then eventually Allah Azza wa Jal revealed to Musa alayhi salam, اضرب بعصاك البحر, hit the sea with your stick. And when Musa alayhi salam did what he can do as a human being, that's what all he can do, to hit the sea with his own stick. Now if you hit the sea with a stick, what's going to happen to the sea? Nothing. But Allah wants to teach Musa alayhi salam that don't feel this fire. Regardless of how difficult circumstances are, despite of how bleak the situation is, do something. And that's what, Maryam alayhi salam was told. هزي إليك بجذع النخلة. Shake the trunk of the palm tree. A woman is in labor. What energy she has and how she's able to shake the trunk of the palm tree. Nothing. But Allah Azza wa Jal wants you to do something. And then the intervention comes from the sky. And then when the intervention comes from the sky, it comes with a lot of hope. Allah Azza wa Jal, as a result of Musa's intervention and hitting the sea, made the water split to two huge mountains. Once I was going in the ferry of the lake, going to the island. When I was looking through the boat, outside the boat, I could see through the water. And remember this ayah. It's very scary to ride, a boat. Look in the water. What if the boat sink? It's very scary. Now imagine that this water become like a huge mountain. There is a possibility that this water come back again as a liquid. But Allah Azza put the ease and tranquility in the heart of Musa and his followers. And He dried the land for them. And they were able to make it through. And when all Bani Israel made it through to the last person, Fir'aun and his soldiers thought they can do the same thing. They followed Musa alayhi salam. As they made their way halfway through, Allah Azza wa Jal revealed once again to Musa to hit the sea once again, and the solid water came back again to its normal stage, to its normal nature, and become once again water. And all the army of Fir'aun drowned. This tells you that the power of Allah Azza wa Jal has no limits. And if you are a believer, believing in the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal, you're entitled to access that power. All you need to do is to have a firm belief in Allah Azza wa Jal. A belief that Allah is able to change everything around you. And you have no doubt that Allah is able to change and make a difference in your life. Keep these words in your mind as you're growing in your life. Always in difficult times, whether it is an exam you're taking, whether it's a challenge or difficulty you'll be facing in your life, always say, حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. I count on Allah and Allah is enough for me. May Allah Azza wa Jalla help us to be true believers. Allahumma ameen. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Ameen.